Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of
Visions of darkness.
Hades 2. We're going to be doing the Trial of Brawn and the Trial of Vengeance. Starting off with the Trial of Brawn, use the earth-splitting power of the Moonstone Axe forged with the skill of a smithing god Hephaestus to cleanse the woods of Erebus. We'll be taking the aspect of Mel on the axe and the Lion Fang, which are
Commencing Chaos Trial.
definitely weaker options, but shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. We'll have plenty of damage for what we need.
I feel...
I can appreciate an armament of damn near any shape or size, but one shape like that Moonstone Axe you got might be my favorite were I forced to choose your weapon point. Let's see what you can do with it, would you?
Makes sense that Hef would prefer weapons that are long stick and heavy thing at the head. I imagine he's quite fond of hammers, and certainly axes by extension. Let's see. So no base damage. Let's see what we've got. Special is a good AoE. Okay. Hell Splitter, your attack has... Our attack has 300 power, but only a final chop. The final move in your attack sequence hits twice, but uses magic. Your attack is faster. So basically, they really want us to just spam attacks. So I think Trusty Shield makes the most sense, so we can just go Unga Bunga and smack all of the things without worrying about it too much. Unga Bunga! Unga Bunga! Oh my goodness, that's some damage. Oh, Chaos, come on. Come on, give us Unga Bunga damage for our attack. That'll be really funny if we get that too. We don't even have an attack boon yet. No, wait, we do. What am I doing? Is this... Yeah, this is our attack. Okay.
There shall always be darkness here in this space, and I have made it visible to you.
Okay, so that's why we're starting with Hef. Basically, we want to have maximum...
Pure darkness.
Oh, okay, we can make darkness now. Awesome. We'll need to use that for several incantations, and I think there's something we've been waiting for that we really needed darkness for, so that's awesome. Let's see. Cast special boons. No attack damage. Lame. Yes. I'm not going to be using Omega moves, and I'm not going to be using cast, so let's take this for boon rarity, I suppose.
Worth the risk.
Not that exciting, but basically the idea is we take the Hef boons, and that will give us defenses, so that we can Unga Bunga through the... basically, we can face tank whatever we want and not have to worry about anything else. Trusty Shield is objectively the best choice here. We are just going to melt everything. Frankly, this would be a build better suited to the final floors, because we just do so much damage, it doesn't... even things on the final floor would get one, if not two shot, but probably one shot, honestly. 840 damage base is pretty bonkers. Doing more damage to armor does make sense, but then look at that. We hit twice and the thing just pops, even with its armor. So yeah, I think Trusty Shield is just the way to go, because then I never have to worry about any damage at all. Unga Bunga Mel. This is fine. I appreciate this. This is actually kind of fun. I wish I could, I wish the Chaos Trials were actually a bit longer, just so I could do this for a full run. Again, that was something that I really enjoyed in Hades 1 when I played with those mods. Like, look at that. We popped the armor and the HP in 2 hits.
We'll have to do this again.
Typhon left his imprint on this mountainside, of that you can be sure. Even our palace buckled under his immeasurable weight. But in the end, our palace stands, not he.
I don't know. I feel like Poseidon offers nothing to this run. Breaker Rush, no. Omega moves, no. They're all whatever. I'll just take a special. It doesn't matter.
Adequate.
Oh, hello, Hestia. We'll take your cast. Your cast is always a good option.
Spindles.
Honestly, like, the thing about this is like, these enemies die in one hit to my special anyway. So, like, one dash attack kills them, one special kills them. So the Unga Bunga attack doesn't even matter here.
Hestia.
And Lion Fang being useless as ever.
All this time, haven't you? Well, might be you better off. Wish I never knew my blasted dad and mum. They taught me nothing I couldn't have learned better on my own.
Don't remember who her parents are, so I can't comment on that. All right, Smoldering is great damage. We really don't need it. And we'll take the shop. We'll get more boons this way. Hermes isn't a bad option. He'll speed us a little. He could have given us attack speed up, but we may already have that already, I think. More Hef, why not? What do we got here? Smithy Rush security system. Ooh, attack. Okay, we'll take the attack, deal more damage to armor. Not that it actually matters. I probably should have just done Molten Touch. Ah, well. Let's get a palm on the attack because that's the funniest option here. Oh, this is fun. So if I can charge up the attack and then dash. The timing's a little bit weird. Gotta get used to that timing, but yeah. The important thing is that I need to remember to not dash before starting to charge up the attack, and it does look like these guys can dash out of the AoE, but we have more than enough damage. I wish our attack range was a little bit bigger, but it would be just so broken if it was. But there we go. We took our first red health damage because Trusty Shield is just so good for this build. And of course we don't get the level up on our attack, but 5% more damage from perfect image. I'm not going to be taking hits if I can afford it. Anyway, so good news is my headache continues to be less than severe, so gonna keep recording for a bit longer. These are gonna still stay on the short end of episodes, but this will be the last Chaos Trial, or maybe I do one more Chaos Trial episode just because I only have 2 more to go. That way I complete the set of what's available to me, and then from there I go for a regular run after that. We have a giant root roast rocking in the oven right now, so I'm gonna have to tend to that on the hour, but I've still got probably like 40 minutes before that's relevant. Security system, we'll take the 75 armor and the damage that scales with armor. Sure, why not? And there's Apollo to give us probably nothing of significant value, but who cares? Like, this build is silly. Like, the initial runs here are just meant to be silly runs. They're not meant to be challenging so much as just, here's a funny idea that you will likely see one day in practice, but it's hard to make happen, and certainly not this early. This is just meant to be a power trip, and that's all it is.
So pleased you finally got to meet your brother, by the way. Me, I have more than enough of those, but if you grew up as an only child, you could probably use one. And it's never too late to make up for lost time.
Sibling rivalry among the gods must be rather toxic, honestly. I think self-healing, sure, why not? If we ever take red health damage in the first place, it'll be nice, but we're probably not going to. I'm going to go full Unga Bunga on Hecate here, although this is Hecate's room. Okay. Can't afford Boon and Palm, we'll just take Boon then. And Uncanny Fortitude. No, we'll take Security System and just Unga Bunga at the very start of this. We have 95 armor on entry here.
That's a sight. You bearing down on me with that gigantic moonstone axe. Wasn't certain you'd prefer that one. I
can be completely honest with you, Hecate, I don't prefer this one. If it's not Aspect of Charon, which I'm still really prone to throwing runs on, it's bust. These weapons don't mesh with me at all.
That is weightier than the other arms, but having an axe such as this in woods such as these has been convenient overall.
Well, much as I hate to inconvenience you, I must. Although that monstrous thing suggests this oughtn't take too long.
All right, Hecate, I say Unga Bunga. Wha-bam. 1900 damage in one hit, and 5 damage in the second because she had nothing left for her shield or her phase HP. That was pretty funny. But like, look at this. We one-shot the witches with just a dash attack, and it comes out faster than the attack, which is, again, just unfortunately, I maintain that the Moonstone Axe just underperforms for what I want it to do. It's too slow. It is prone to making me take hits, and its damage is nice for burst, but it falls off really hard when you're at higher heats, I fear. It's just too unsafe. It's the same issue I had with Excalibur in Hades 1. It was by far my least favorite weapon, and it cost me my first ever win streak, so of course I'm gonna be a little spiteful about it. Or bitter, I suppose.
Handle Zorafet as though its bulk is not an inconvenience, but a strength.
I mean, 1900 damage in one hit is a bit of a strength in this game, I would say.
Return to Shadow now.
I prevent. Experiment complete?
A 3, a 2, a 1.
Return to Shadow now.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a shadow? The world may never know.
Into a real possibility.
All right, so that's Chaos Trial number 1 of the day. Now for a Chaos Trial number 2. Also, let's see, so Trial of Vengeance. Under the watch of the Queen of Olympus, turn your foe's fury against them, retaliating whenever they strike until the city of Ephyra is secure. We'll be taking the aspect of Melinoe, Melinoe, there we go. Melinoe on the Ardent Skull with Evil Eye.
For the realm.
I guess we're mad at the Cyclops for some reason. Will the Evil Eye actually enhance our damage against him?
Impulse I would better understand.
Yeah, no, the Evil Eye does nothing here. The Evil Eye is completely useless here because it's coded to an enemy that we are not going to even see in this area. We died to a crawler, which I think is a... That's not King Vermin, right? That's not Tony. I don't know. It is what it is. So let's see. Healthy Rebound. Whenever you exit a location, restore 100% of your HP as long as you have at least 50%. Aimless Attitude, your bonus, you deal 11% more damage as long as you're above 80% HP. Divine Vengeance, after you take damage, your foe is struck by lightning, and again, 50% of the time, up to 5 times, dealing 100 damage each. Light Smite, after you take damage, automatically damage and daze all foes in the vicinity, and Phrenos, which gives us a whole lot of extra HP. Well, 10 extra HP. All right, so basically the idea is maybe I should just face tank this and see what happens.
Something about this night feels very odd, and in my experience, such premonitions are never to be ignored. Perhaps the strange forces at work are merely due to your invocations. Just do be careful, girl.
Oh, look at you actually offering us a word of concern. Cute. Let's see, attack, special, or sprint. I mean, we'll take the attack because that's a pretty solid modifier and it'll spread damage to other enemies. But I honestly wonder, do I just like let you guys hit me? Yeah, I do. I just let you guys hit me. Go for it. All right, so we are going to beat this trial by not attacking. That is my resolve until we get to Cyclops and see where we're at. Because we actually, oh wait, we have 2 Death Defiances. Yeah, we're just going to be silly here. Just do it. Does this fire do damage to me? It doesn't. Oh, it does. It works. The fire actually procs Divine Vengeance. I just have to actually take the hit. Or we have to be in the range. Hit me. Hit me, coward. Hit me. Here we go. All right, this is going to be a silly run. Twisting Crash. Your Omega Special projectile is fire outward, then inward. Your shells land and deal 50% of your attack damage. Your shells fly back automatically. We need all of these, so I will take the one that I will never take, which is Twisting Crash. I just think it's not a good hammer, I believe. So like the way your Omega Special works is you fire this and it does a big wave attack outwards, and then they suck back inwards with the hammer. I don't know. I might be mistaken, but I don't find it a terribly impressive hammer for my understanding. Maybe there's a way to make it really work well. All right, so those Aphrodite rooms look like a wonderful way to get our survivability up, and Zeus could give us double strike, which would up our damage on the, what is it, Light Smite? But yeah, we're just gonna walk around here. Hey everybody, how you doing? It looks like we will have to attack the, whatever it's called, the, what's it called? The pylon. We'll have to attack the pylon because these things don't count as enemies, but those are the only things that don't count as enemies. So yeah, we're gonna beat this trial without ever launching an attack against enemies.
Prometheus leads the vanguard of our enemy's forces on Olympus. Apparently he didn't learn a thing from when we punished him for his past crimes. We shall have to think of new ways to make him come around.
All right, so we fed his liver to an eagle. Maybe we pluck all of his toenails and make them regrow and pluck them again. Oh, that already sounds awful. What else? Feed those toenails to... No, feed him to the slugs. Feed him to the slugs from Greek mythology, which I don't actually think is a thing. I'm just making stuff up, because of course I can. We'll go for all the Aphrodite rooms now. It literally doesn't matter. The more HP we have, the better. I think we already had... I think I saw we had Spiritual Affirmation, but I don't think we... No, we don't have Spiritual Affirmation, so we can get a whole lot of extra HP, actually, which is pretty funny. But this is literally the do nothing and win trial, which I hope this will apply to the Cyclops too. Would love it if these Divine Vengeances did a little bit more damage, but like, look at this. As long as we stay above 130 HP, we should be able to kill all of these guys and heal back to full. Unfortunately, I fear that we are not going to heal back up. We'll need some shameless attitude after all, I suppose.
You beneath the shining moonlight. Welcome, gorgeous, to the lovely surface of our world. Please stay as long as you like. Or as long as you can. Of late, it's been a little rough.
Really? I think that's been improved since we beat Typhon. All right, we do not see Spiritual Affirmation, so we'll just lock in whatever we can. Sure, Secret Crush, why not? We're not using our magic for anything. I'll take these extra rooms on the off chance they give HP, because that would be pretty beneficial to us. I think the issue right now is armored enemies kind of undo our strategy here. Also doesn't help if they completely... Do I have dodge chance? I must have dodge chance somewhere? How did they miss? Oh, Light Smite, that makes sense. I had dodge chance due to the Light Smite days. That makes sense. That makes sense a lot. That very much makes sense. Unfortunately, without without the ability to heal back up, I am at risk of dying here, but why don't I commit to the bit until I know I can no longer commit to the bit? Would really like to see, you know, Selene could give us Moon Water. That could work for us. So we'll take, let's see, we'll take the 2 Aphrodite rooms. We have 4 rooms remaining, so 2 Aphrodite rooms, Hera room, Selene. Sounds good. Okay, let's do Selene first because we might be able to get Moon Water early and heal up from it. Oh, you know what? This fire does so little damage, but it melts them.
Should put a dent into that barrier.
I ought to welcome you more formally to our world's surface, little star. Part of me knew you would discover your way here. If you feel lost, you need but look aloft.
All right, we do not, unfortunately, get Moon Water. X makes everything move 50% slower. I will never really want to take phase shift under most circumstances, so why don't we take it tonight?
Shift.
It's one of those things. It's like Lion's Fang from the previous run where I was like, ugh, it always underperforms. The issue with Lion's Fang is it loses per encounter. You lose a % damage modifier off of it until it just has no damage modifier. And we lost it halfway through Tartarus, or no, what is it? Erebus. We lost it halfway through Erebus. So it feels like it just does not do enough to justify ever taking. Granted, that's more of an issue when it is at its lower ranks, mind you. It's less of an issue once it's ranked up, but it still feels underwhelming at best, unfortunately. I unfortunately think I'm not going to be able to complete this trial. I'm a little bit miffed by the fact that if enemies miss you, you don't take the damage, so you don't activate your Divine Vengeance. I think that's how it was in Hades 1 as well. And we made up for that with, oh, perfect, Spiritual Affirmation. Gain 15% extra life. All right, so we were at 119 HP. That gained us 39 HP. Not as much. That's 1.5. That is 1.5 of the, what is it called? Of the Centaur hearts. So pretty solid.
There.
Yeah, these fire. Actually, you know what? I just realized Polyphemus drops the fire spitting enemies. I think we can probably still make the challenge work as long as I optimize around that for DPS. We still have 2 more chambers to go, but I think I can actually do this. Unless you don't count it, it's because I did attack those pylons. But I did not directly attack enemies, and if that's the point of the challenge, then I am succeeding with flying colors.
Amid the stench of death lies a rejuvenating spring, etched from a block of stone into the likeness of the Verger goddess and the underworld's rightful queen.
This fountain. Mother.
Okay, so it's referencing Persephone. Okay. I'm not familiar with the term Verger.
This city belongs to the mortals.
You do a lot of damage, don't you, sir? Do you have any friends? Okay, let's make sure that your friends are within range. If I'm gonna take hits from you, I may as well let them get hit too. You're gonna actually be a problem, aren't you? I think this guy summons the birds. Phrynos, hack him up. I do appreciate that Phrynos blocks that damage, but Divine Vengeance is not really carrying us against this guy. A shame that they didn't give us the duo boon between Zeus and Ares that lets our retaliation boons auto fire, because I believe that is a thing. We are officially out of Death Defiances. Born, Gain, Hereditary Bane, Bridal Glow. Let's take Bridal Glow. Well, actually, most of this is already... This doesn't actually hit anything that matters for not taking damage, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, 3 levels on a boon would be good. Sworn Strike. Lame. It is what it is. It means our attacks will do extra damage if we do ever end up using them for things that aren't pylons, I suppose. All right. So we've got 1 more chamber and then Polyphemus himself. This will top our HP off pretty heavily. I don't trust that if I use it now, I won't be above half HP when I enter the next room. So let's go ahead and clear Aphrodite's last chamber first. Armored houses are a bit of a problem. Once we get good Divine Vengeance Lightning Bolt procs, a shame I feel like this challenge is very doable if we were to
How many of these do they have?
successfully get, what is it called? Really, that didn't... Drop a Lightning Bolt, please. There we go.
In the name of Hades.
I completely... Oh, if we had gotten Double Strike from Zeus, I think this would have been a super easy challenge. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Glamour Gain, though, actually applies weak to enemies without me attacking them, so that'll work. Oh, let's not die to the explosion. I don't think I'm going to be above 150% or 50% HP here. Probably shouldn't have taken this extra room, but the fire will mean that we can cast Divine Vengeance on these guys real quick. There we go. Selene.
Manifest your desire.
I guess Selene doesn't matter. We had hoped for Moonwater, but after using your hex, you take 2% less damage this encounter. That could work in our favor. Doesn't really look like we have anything else that will terribly benefit us, so whatever. That 2% damage reduction probably won't amount to much. As it is, we need HP. We need to be above 50%, and that means we need to be above 150, and we're gonna be like 140 here, right? Yeah, that's unlucky. I shouldn't have taken that extra room. We would have been fine if I hadn't taken that extra room, or honestly, maybe it would have been better if I had just let the damage happen. I think we would have still been below the threshold, so it probably wouldn't have worked out, but it is what it is. Armor will help, though. Wispy Wiles gives us dodge chance, which means I can dodge. I have a better chance of dodging attacks and then walking into fires when he summons his friends, perhaps. Yeah, we'll take that.
Hail, boatman.
Oh, I can't afford the armor. Shoot. Oh well. All right, so we'll if our HP drops below 30, we'll start attacking. I do think this challenge is absolutely doable without ever attacking, mind you.
Where'd that one witch go? And all the bodies, huh? And just as I was starting to like the new aroma around here.
I just think you need to be a little bit luckier with your rolls.
You and all of us are subject to the will of Night, Cyclops. Lady Medea was drawn here for that reason alone. For my part, I find it easier not having to contend with you both.
Basically, if you get double strike from Zeus and then spiritual affirmation from Aphrodite, you're going to be in a much better spot, especially if you get those early. If Hephaestus can show up in this challenge and give you armor, that also will just carry the run. Demeter also offers some degree of defensive boons, so those would probably be the best options.
You want things easy, then what are you even doing over here? You just passed through one of the hardest towns I know, and things are only going to get rougher.
Glamour Gaming is pretty decent here, though, because now they're weak and they're going to deal 30% less damage. Like, I'm only taking 10 damage a hit from him. I don't actually know what that pattern he just did does. All right. The question is, do we win here? I'm not convinced we do. We dodged that. Didn't dodge that. All right, so his kicks... Ooh, those do 17 hit. Okay. So yeah, we need him to spawn his fire enemies sooner than later if we can. I think there's definitely an optimization about when to use your healing too. Do these sheep? Oh, they're exploding. I suspect the explosions probably hurt a fair bit. Oh, he's gonna heal himself. All right, the explosions do 10. I suspect we are not gonna beat this challenge here today. It was worth a shot. Okay, we said if we got below 30, we would fight him. Still haven't gotten below 30 technically. Freenos, can you do anything? Can you do it, Freenos? I think we're just gonna accept that the challenge is shot. I am now below 30, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start DPSing.
You gotta meet some of the guys.
These exploding sheep are a little bit scary. We are above the HP that is required for him to one-shot us, but not by much, so... Are we throwing things? I'm pretty sure I attacked him when he was looking for... Oh, well, let's not kill ourselves like this. It would be very awkward if I just threw the run here, right, Kiwi? I have the option of doing so, so I better be careful. I don't really have much damage. Admittedly, our damage depended on us taking hits. They should have given us Tula, honestly. Tula would have worked fine here for an extra Death Defiance. I think I play it safe and just keep my distance. But if he does a big angry kick out at me, I'm probably gonna get hit by it without realizing. I do have to play super safe, like that move right there. That's the, no. Ooh, just barely got out of that one. No. I am actually not terribly confident about how this is going to end. Oh, exploding sheep. 3, 2, 1, exploding sheep. I do very much appreciate how crazy the flute goes in this song. I'm so dead. Unfortunate.
Chow time. Wait, where'd you go?
That's a little embarrassing. All right, well, I gave myself a hard set of rules to try and beat the challenge with. Now we go all out and prove how easy this challenge is. Look, if you go into a challenge and say, I'm gonna beat Hades 2, I'm gonna need beat a boss in Hades 2 without dealing any damage directly.
The other night.
You know, I probably should have read that. Oh well. I'll pause in the editing and make sure that that's recorded. I just assumed she's gonna repeat herself, but you know what? She probably wouldn't. Oh well. Well, let's just get this done as quick as possible. I can definitely beat this in under like 3 minutes in game time if I try. I'm running one of my best weapons. Like, look at this.
At least the family knows about you now. Always wanted to say, message to Olympus. Persephone and Hades had another kid, and she's all right. But Heck knew we had to wait, and she knows a lot. So my lips were sealed.
All right, Hermes. Travel deals for sex rate. We'll just take Nitro Boost for extra speed. It doesn't really matter. Frankly, I'm at the point where I have enough damage to kill him with this HP. I just can afford to play unsafe now. Pardon me, unsafe now. Of course, here we get the extra HP. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take... I guess I'll take Aphrodite's... Glamour Gain is still very solid for us. Alternatively, we can take her special because I am going to be specialing into enemies usually just to reclaim my skulls.
Sigil.
Sweetness, why, you seem entirely yourself. Upon the surface here, that is. I thought you couldn't tolerate this place, yet here you are, strutting across the war-torn land as though it's yours by right.
There's no way this is the first time we've gotten Aphrodite on the surface, right? That just seems wild to think. Probably should have taken her attack damage boost, but it's fine. We'll see if we can get double strike from Zeus this time. But literally, at this point, I just face tank Polyphemus because I have the HP and the Death Defiances, so it doesn't matter. And then we just watch him get melted with Divine Vengeance plus just our base damage. Yeah, look, I wanted to play silly, and you know what? Half the fun of playing a game is to have fun. If I'm gonna gimmick the game, I'm gonna gimmick the game. Love it when there's just one enemy off in the corner doing nothing and I can't find it.
That worthless Cyclops Polyphemus turning his broad back against the gods. His kind once aided us against the Titans, yet he's of a newer generation, lacking loyalty apparently. His actions cannot be excused.
Really, Polyphemus was involved with the Titans, with like the slaying of Titans? I did not know that. Really, my only like connection to Polyphemus is his relationship to Poseidon as his son and his role in the Odyssey. So that's interesting to know. That's actually very interesting to know. Yeah, the skull is just one of those weapons where you just turn your brain off and spam buttons and you win. At least in the earlier heats. Let's see, Nexus Rush, Fine Line, Bridal Glow. We'll take Bridal Glow. And it hit... I didn't actually see what it hit. I think it was a Zeus Boon, perhaps? Double Strike. Okay, you know what? That's pretty awesome to hit Double Strike, actually. Let's see. We'll take the rest of the Hera boons, I think, and we'll get through this really quick.
A mortal-made stone likeness of the grim lord of the dead stands in the center of the city, looking on at the devastation sown as if in stunned silence.
This is my father.
Where is everyone? There they are. Like, where are all the enemies? I don't see them. Like, but do you see, like, the power of the Ardent Skull? Just, it plays really well to how I like to play this. It's mash button dash, mash button special. It feels good when you're able to face tank like this. Proper upbringing. I don't have enough Earth boons, so I guess we'll take Engagement Ring just for the damage it gives. It's not much, but it's enough. Let's see, how are we doing on time? I don't actually have, do I not have the timer on, or do we not get a timer here? I believe there is a way to see timer. Is it in gameplay? Timer display. There we go. Yeah, we're a minute and 42. So can I beat this in under 3 minutes? That's my challenge. That's my new challenge. Can I beat this in under 3 minutes? At the way I'm routing to these boons, maybe not, but we're 4 out of 6 pylons complete with a minute and 10 seconds remaining, so it's possible at the very least. Depends on how our room RNG is. We're getting a lot of low HP mobs, which means the rooms tend to be pretty long. Oh no, my controller. My controller has decided to cease functioning. Hello. So much for sub 3. Kiwi, I think you and I are both due for getting some new controllers soon.
In the name of Hades.
Oh hooray, Evil Eye ranked up. I'll probably never use it again for the rest of this playthrough. Genuinely, it just isn't that good because you need to die to the enemy to use it. And then after that, there are usually better options. Like Knucklebones gives you safety on top of dealing damage to enemy, dealing damage to the boss. And I don't know, like it only works if it's only gonna work 50% of the time. Like if I die to Typhon and I have to die to Typhon intentionally for me to get its effect, or I mean I do a high heat run and inevitably die to him against my will, but it is what it is. Extended family. I guess that'll make our vengeance spoons do more damage. Sure, why not? All right, we're probably gonna get to Polyphemus with about 20 seconds on the clock. I probably can't phase him fast enough to, or his phase transitions last for so long. I don't think I'm gonna be able to DPS him fast enough to have what I want happen. But we'll try it. Hello, Zuzi. Static Shock. Static Shock will give us more damage, and we are not depending on any form of magic, so this works for me. All right, we've got 25 seconds. Let's do this.
I see you decided not to act on my prior recommendation for the good of your flock, whose sheep you often eat. For how much longer do you plan to bar me from the rift?
Forever and always, Belle.
Thinking it might be a while. Got my flock, got my barn, been sleeping better lately, and having the uproot, settle someplace else, packing and unpacking. I don't want any of that.
I understand. I sympathize with you on that one, Polyphemus. Moving sucks. It's so stressful.
How fortunate you've made yourself such a comfortable arrangement that happens to be right in my blasted way.
Oh, that's just another perk. I even get my nightly exercise.
You guys are good friends. All right. Sorry, Polyphemus, you're gonna get melted here. All right. That's phase one. That's... We stay on top of him and just make our DPS. Honestly, if I stand on top of the fire, he gets melted here because of the Vengeance Boon. So I think that's what we just do here. I'm just gonna stand on the fire and let our challenge from earlier do the rest. Or okay, it appears that new damage from the fire has to happen, so never mind. Woo, sub 3. Okay, half a second to spare. I could have done it a lot faster if I hadn't gotten distracted by standing in the fire, but you know, I did it. All right.
There. Did you see that, Chaos?
Reno's jumped on Polyphemus's unconscious body, and I'm not sure if we hit him and he did a little animation or if he responded to Frino's jumping on him, but either way, that was kind of funny to look at. Yeah, well, that was a silly run. I had to run it back because I got a little too cocky, but I genuinely believe you can beat that challenge without attacking if you get a little bit better RNG. Like we did, you can get double strike. We proved that by that Zeus boon we got, so I think it's wholly doable. Regardless, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'm gonna go check our root roast. See you in the next one.